Alright everyone, hi again. This is just Andrew doing another game broadcast. The game I've chosen today is going to be Gradius 3 for the Super Nintendo. And I'm just going to let this intro play and I'm going to shut it now because it's absolutely epic and I love it. I mean, really, it's not much. It's just a spaceship flying off, but I think it's cool. Gradius. Okay, let's start this up. So, first off, I'm going to go to options because Gradius is known as a very, very difficult game. So I'm going to drop that down to easy. And shoot, yeah, we'll keep that. Cool. So we're going to go first player. And this is just your weapon select menu. I like to go over here because I have a certain way I like to lay out my weapons. Twin laser, F option, go with the forward shield and the full barrier. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating here. There's a bit of it's a Konami code, and all it does is just gives you all your weapon power-ups. So it's up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. And there we go. Look at all that. Got all my upgrades. This is about as far as the cheating I'll go in this game. I don't like add lives or anything. Basically, like with all the points you're going to be getting anyway, you don't really need the extra lives. The other code you can use gives you like 30 extra lives or something like that, but I never use it. Basically, the way the weapon system works on this is like a currency, like these little power-ups I'm gonna get right here. So in order to get, like, you know, your laser, it takes like 4 of them, and to get your F options, there's little orbs floating around me right now. That's like 6 or 7 of these. It only gives you 1, so it can take you a long time to actually build up your power-ups. And one of my biggest issues with this game is they throw so much onto the screen, you can actually really lag it down, and that's one thing that Konami, I don't know why, they never addressed with their Gradius games. It actually took to the last rendition of, it was Gradius 5, and it was for the PlayStation 2, where they actually fixed all those issues, and they pretty much made like the best Gradius game ever. I don't have a PlayStation 2 and I never played it. I would love to. If I had a PlayStation 3, I can actually download it off of their game site, but I got a PlayStation 4 and I don't know why it's not there. And I would really, really like to play Gradius 5 one day. But right now, I'm pretty content with this. And I absolutely love these, like, old classic shooter games. I have a whole collection. I try to grab as many as I can. Actually, one of the times I went to the game store there, I basically cleaned them out of all, like, the NES and Super NES shooters that I could buy. I got another one. It's called R-Type, which is a pretty cool game. I'll have to give that a try again. The one thing I love about Gradius is, like, all the, like, not one level is the same, and that's actually one thing I love about these old games. Like, they realized how repetitive they could be, so they really focused on trying to make every level as different as possible, different enemies and different scenarios. And I mean, this one you got these, like, sand dragons that, you know, come up everywhere. I have to say, like, some of my favorite shooters like this are actually on the, have to be on the, Sega Genesis. They got some pretty good stuff. Like, I have this, it's called Biohazard Battle, and oh my god, the graphics on that game are just amazing for the, Sega Genesis. I'll have to do a broadcast on that one day, because, It's a really cool game. And I actually almost beat it too, so... It's really hard to actually concentrate and talk at the same time with this stuff, so... This giant evil thing. Ah, I got him. Sweet. This next level is pretty cool, but this is like one of the worst levels coming up for slowdown because there's just so much stuff on the screen. It just... like the Super Nintendo just cannot handle it. Like even when I'm shooting here, you can see like the slowdown. It's kind of funny. I actually have a ROM for my Nintendo DS. I got one of those M3 cards. I got a Super Nintendo emulator, and then I have the ROM Gradius 3. I have to say, like, the ROM actually runs a lot better on my DS than it does on the actual, like, hardware. It's just kind of funny. It doesn't actually, the problem with emulators, though, is that you can have blaring issues, sound issues, and all that stuff, and it can be really difficult to actually, like, tweak all those settings. So, I kind of don't like to use emulators if I can help it. But having said that, I have played emulators before. And another thing I gotta say I love about the Gradius games is it's the music tracks too that they put in. Like if you had like if I had like a sound system down here, like the music playing right now is very, very bassy. A lot of heavy bass in it, and it'd be pretty cool to actually hear that on a bigger system one day. I just got my TV speakers here. I'm actually playing this, even though it's hooked up to my computer right now, I'm still actually playing this on my TV because I got a splitter cable so I can still, you know, record on my computer and still actually be able to play this the same way. This will get pretty crazy pretty soon. It's gonna be all these bubbles showing up, and it's just gonna be a madhouse. Look at that slow down. That's what I was talking about right there. One reason why I like to play these kind of games on the Sega Genesis, I actually find the Sega Genesis doesn't have as much slowdown when it comes to a lot of these sprites and that on the screen. Seems like the Sega was more capable of handling it, while the Super Nintendo, I find, has, well, it actually has the, what do they call it, Mode 7. It's Mode 7, ability, where it creates almost like a 3D plane. I don't know if it is a 3D plane or not, but a lot of Nintendo games use Mode 7. And it's kind of one thing that Nintendo does have over the Sega Genesis, where the Sega Genesis actually has more layering. So that's how they basically got around, where Nintendo can do all the Mode 7 stuff, and you can do some really neat things with the... But with the Sega, you can... this takes a little bit extra, where you gotta, I don't know... I mean, you kind of like see how like they do the parallax scrolling, and you got like the things in the background moving at different speeds and stuff like that. That's all done by the different layering. This is actually, I love this enemy right here, this big giant space amoeba. I think I'll just play this, you know, just until I die or something. Another reason why I still like to play these old consoles, including like the Sega Genesis, because the Sega Genesis was they really designed it more to play arcade style games, like basically ported right from the arcade. So that's another thing too. You find the difference between the Super Nintendo and the Sega. The Sega seems to run the ports a little bit better. It was a little bit better ports than you get on the Sega than what you would the Super Nintendo were. The Super Nintendo was more for like RPGs, like a Final Fantasy, of course your Mario and all the Zelda fans and stuff like that. You know, a bit of shame to say I actually have a much wider collection of Sega games right now than I do my Super Nintendo. And I used to be more of a Super Nintendo fan when I was a kid, being because of Star Fox and all that. But even today, there's still people doing some really cool things with the Sega Genesis hardware. In 2016, there's actually a Brazilian company that released a copy of Duke Nukem 3D, and it's nothing really great. Like obviously, because the Sega was just not meant to run 3D graphics like that. But it's very interesting to see that it could do it at all, which it kind of does. And when they also have to strip the game down a lot too, because they have the like in Duke Nukem, you have the 3 different story lines that you can take, and they basically took the second one and then they really stripped down the levels. Like it's kind of almost like playing Wolfenstein 3D in a way. But it's still kind of cool seeing be able to see Duke Nukem 3D on a Sega Genesis. I'm surprised I haven't actually died yet. That can change things though. Actually, I haven't touched my options yet. Wanted to get my force field shield, but I got the speed instead. That could be one thing that's really annoying in this game, like you're trying to collect your power-ups and you end up picking up one too many and then you have to like do the whole cycle all over again. It's actually kind of funny, playing this game on my DS, I actually wore out one of the buttons on it, one of the left shoulder buttons. I had to actually take my DS apart and fix it. Actually, no, it wasn't the button, it was actually a ribbon cable that coils around the inside of the Nintendo DS, and the left shoulder button was close to it. What ended up happening was, I was hitting that left shoulder button so much that somehow it loosened the cable off. And it was causing the screen to flicker and all that stuff. So I had to actually do a little repair job on my DS there last year. Which, if anyone's ever taken apart a Nintendo DS, they are not easy. Like you gotta like line everything up. There's little springs on the shoulder buttons with pins, and then you got the ribbon cable, which is very delicate because it's got a very small connection point. And well, the reason why I had to actually repair my DS is I cracked the screen on it and I ordered a new screen. And I got it all working, which is actually I'm quite happy. Still play that DS today. It'd be nice if there's actually a way I could stream off my DS. That'd be really cool. You need someone to actually made like an app or something for it. One thing too I don't kind of gripe about this game is is when you're playing 2 players, because it's not simultaneously, it's turn-based. And playing this game, like if I had a friend over and we're playing turn-based, it would not be very fair because like I can literally go to the 5th, 6th, 7th level without even dying. Oh wow, this is getting crazy. I'm on the right spot for this. I'm gonna be going up against a big mothership right now. And this guy can be hit. You gotta kind of get yourself in a good spot here. He's gonna have this like ricochet laser. If you're on the right spot, it'll destroy you. And then you gotta pull out. He's gonna be shooting some lasers. This is really the only time you can actually damage him. Right at this moment. And he's gonna spread open. Spot there. Got him! Haha, I don't think I've ever did it that fast before. Wow, I have not died yet. That's amazing. It's going... How long is this broadcast going? I only got about 17. Might as well make it a 20-minute video. Play this a little bit longer. Like I said, like I love the level layouts. Like everything is like... Every level you go to is different. The one thing I kind of like about some of these old shooter games is like when some of the levels are all fleshy, it's almost like you're flying through like a living body or something like that. I don't think there's too many levels like that in this version of Gradius, but in Gradius 5, the one for PlayStation 2, there's actually a pretty neat level that's like that. Oh, this is the, oh, the rockheads. I love these. I love this level. This is another one of my favorite levels. Well, I think I'll make it to the last boss here, and then I'll call it quits. This video is going to be massive to upload. And, whatever reason, our internet service provider doesn't give us much bandwidth for the money that we pay. I gotta tell you, the 2 biggest scams going on in Canada right now are the gas companies and the telecommunication companies. When people don't believe me, just go look at a coverage map of the United States of all the wireless networks that they have, and look at a coverage map of Canada. And then tell me that you know, there's a big difference there. And it makes absolutely no sense. Like, we live in a country where basically telecommunications, like wireless telecommunications, is basically developed, and yet we have some of the shittiest coverage in the entire world. But there's probably countries in Africa that get better friggin' connections. Yeah, and this whole thing going on with Facebook and that too, like, you know, they're taking our information and they're selling it. And basically letting us use their stuff for free. But the only reason why they're letting us use it for free is because they're collecting the data and selling it. If they want my data so badly, how about they start paying us for it? That's just a thought. You know, they want to create this whole new Internet 2.0 thing. How about they make it so where when the consumer actually puts information out to something... I died. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off there. That's, I think that's about enough. I hope you all enjoyed this. And I'll probably be next weekend and I'll have another video up. Hope you enjoyed.